Okay, so on Instagram Live right now, we have a question about Q1 2020, Q1 2023. Will that be the time to buy? My answer to that is that there is never a way to time the market for anything, and you shouldn't try. And, in terms of what needs to happen by 2023, I mean, it's all a personal thing, but I think what's most important in terms of building long term wealth, no matter where you're starting from or where you are now, you want to invest systematically. So that could mean you're dollar cost averaging into a low cost index fund consistently every month, like clockwork. You want to automate that or, make that automatic, if you will. I know I do that with one of my accounts, like a certain amount is taken out of my checking account every month, no matter what. And I often forget about it, but it goes into the same thing. And, it just eliminates the human factor that tends to mess this stuff up. No one knows what's to come with the current economic situation. It could be much worse. It could be better than you expect. But I don't think any of us are qualified to know. And frankly, no one's qualified to know. And that's something you don't hear a lot, from the call it the pundits, because it's the truth, but it's not necessarily what people want to believe or even want to hear. We all want to believe we have this ability to know what's going to come, or at least we think our guesstimations are better than others. In reality, the best bet is just to, just try not to do too much. I don't think playing these games of and going back to timing, it just doesn't work. That's one of the biggest lessons I learned early that I have never forgotten is that time in the market always beats timing the market. And so if you have a long time horizon ahead of you, there's no reason why you should be necessarily trying to pick a perfect moment to get back in. And furthermore, there's a lot of evidence that when investors try to do that during a big drawdown, maybe they sell out of something, they might miss the time to get back in because they keep thinking it's going to go lower. That's happened to a lot of people too. And you don't need to take my word for that. You can just read, Reddit. I love reading what's your biggest investing mistake and going through a lot of Reddit conversations about that because it very much agrees or aligns with what I read and the various the investing classics, so to speak, and lessons from legendary investors like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, and others. So that's my take, though. I think, just do what's best for you. I can't make the decision for you, but I don't think there's anyone who could tell you with any sort of confidence if Q1 2023, let alone next week, will be the time to buy. That's really something that it has to come down to your approach. Now, there was another question about, do you think right now is a good time to buy? Again, buy what? A low-cost index fund that you're dollar cost averaging into over the course of your lifetime? Hey, maybe. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the entire world. But if you're thinking of a certain stock and you think, no, I think it's been beaten down as much as it'll be beaten down, I would never try to play that game or recommend anyone else tries to play that game. I think generally speaking, the smarter we try to act by doing those types of things, like timing the market, it ends up really poorly for us. Furthermore, I would judge yourself by how frequently you're doing a buy or sell, because in all likelihood, there's a very strong positive correlation between the amount of buying and selling you're doing and the amount of money you're losing or winning or making, I should say. So, all the evidence that I have from academic studies, from studies that have been commissioned by the SEC, it's the more we buy and sell, the worse we tend to do over the long term. So keep that in mind as well. But I hope that's helpful.